This is a dewpond based on the ancient ways of collecting on hill forts, the ancient ways of collecting water, and the reason why I decided to take this job. I like a bit of the old magic. Hello and welcome to my channel. "15 years ago, all this was a pile of rocks, and I've just been stood here being reminded of things we forget that we've done in our lives. And I've planted all these trees around here, or most of them, and including hundreds in the wood behind. There's these alders here, the cornus there, the viburnum opulus or Guelder rose, another alder there, and at the far end there are willow eugenes, willow albas, ranunculus, more willows, viburnums. And even plants around the edge of the pond here, although some of them haven't survived. As you can see, clearing has been done here, and unfortunately we're probably going to lose all this ash with ash dieback that's appeared recently. But even so, oaks and stuff I've planted here and beech have survived. And if you look through here, the green further back, that's a patch of beech and limes. Short-leaved limes, is that what they're called? Oh my god, I'm having a bad name blank. But the ancient limes, there's a patch of them. I thought they wouldn't survive because every time I came up here and looked, the deer had been chomping at them. But they're still there, and now they're too thick for the deer to destroy. Small leafed lime. That's it, remembered. Well, what I came here to do today was pull the ragwort from over on the far side along that top path there. The ragwort was in here. And here's some agrimony. You can tell by its arching stems, they can get quite tall. Little 5-petaled yellow flowers. Leaflets like that, very rough and jagged. And secondly, to pull all this weed that's encroaching into the pond out. As you can see, that's already done there. We've now got a defined edge, and you can see where we haven't. So there's all that left to do up to the floating plants down there that I don't know what they are. I can't remember the name. But when you pull anything out of a pond, what you should do is leave it in piles by the side overnight, or for a couple of nights, just so all the creatures that are in it can crawl back into the water. So this is the ash and oak side, with the sparse bit being the oak, the thinned bit being the ash, and oak at the bottom where it's thicker. There's some there's some larches down by the gate, and that's there's a clump there of evergreens. I'm not very good with evergreens at all. And in here, this is a mixture of ash, some oak. Orchids were in here, but they decided not to grow there this year. There was even one in the middle of the path there. And small leaf lime behind there. So let's do a little circuit and I'll show you the small leaf lime. Just as I said, here's one. And not so long ago, they weren't even as tall as my head. And look at that. It's just amazing to see how well they've grown. And here's one that we didn't even plant, which is great. But yeah, there's probably a couple of dozen, maybe 3 dozen in there. There might even be 50 actually. Like I said, here's the oaks at the bottom, below the ash. And here, a couple of bows. Oh dear, really bad name blank today. Birch, type of birch, I can't remember exactly what. And some manna ash, a couple of manna ashes here, that one and that one. The difference is the flower is a lot more fluffy, and I think the buds are greyer rather than black, if I remember rightly. But here, there's a few beech at the front, but in the middle of all that, there's lots of small leaf lime. You can see them overhanging the path just coming up to here. Loads of them. And like I said, I was taller than them when I first started working here. I think that's a ranunculus, I think. I'm sure it was. Or maybe I'm getting my R's mixed up. And this is the diagonal path back up to the pond. It looks like some lime's been thinned in there, which I wasn't involved in. And last year it did this, and the year before. The leaves started doing that and going brown and then dropping off. So I don't know, I'm not quite sure what that is. Maybe there's some lack of water in here. I thought they were going to be alright this year because they looked healthy. I'm sure if we'd have had a normal amount of English rain, we'd have been okay. But let's go in here and have a look. Yeah, oh, not much has been cleared. Just a little patch. And here's the pond. When I say pond here, it means Dewpond. I'm just missing out the dew bit. Lazy speaking, I suppose. Sorry. There's a lovely verbascum. With Devil's Bit scabious behind it, providing a backdrop. Now I'm going to hoe this. And now I'm going to mow it. All mown and weeded, hoed. This has got to be the greenest grass anywhere, but that's because the sprinkler gets on the veg. So of course the grass around it is green, whereas every other bit of grass is all brown. But you've got to eat. So next job is to weed through this. So now I'm going to go up to finish off the weed in the pond and move the hose back to the Cornus mass from the alder. So let's go and do it. Okay, well I'm going up to the wood, the long way I suppose, but I want to do it to check on stuff, and we'll go through the gate at the end there, stile at the end. So I just wanted to have a look along here, just check it all out, see how the spindles are doing. One of my favourite autumn berries, that is. Depending on rainfall is going to depend on how well the berries are, but very often in a summer with a lack of water, plants think they're going to die, so they produce a lot of seed. Oh yeah, there you can see it in there. Some of it's actually turning pink. Well, it's not overly loaded. I want to look back, and over we go. Now this is probably not an area that you'll see very often. This is kind of one of the extremes. There's one thing about doing the kind of work that I do, and a very important garden tip is, it's in the dark places where your troubles can hide, you know, where like certain weeds can hide. It's always good to clear them out. So this is coming to the pond from the bottom, and you can see some of the willows. There's a willow been cut down there. That'll be one of the pussy willows, I think. One of the goat willows. But there were too many there in that space. So yeah, you'll spot where we are in a second. And we're coming to it from the bottom, and we meet the path the other way we come in. So let's move the hose and pull some more weed. So there ends a vlogging day, a garden vlogging day. What it doesn't show you is my trips up here to deal with these trees, these larger ones that we planted last year. As you look, there's a turkey oak there. Is it turkey oak? Yes, I think a Turkish oak. Cornus mass behind there, and an alder, and they're looking a bit heat parched. So I'm coming up to swap the hose over and water them, and that's kind of what it doesn't show you. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing in between. Now this is one of my special plantings. This is a Bramley from the original Bramley. I planted it, probably 10 years ago. So thanks for watching. See you later. Ta-da.